Yes, yes, yes. This is Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, and today we're looking at the news in various areas, various publications that Eddie Hearn is threatening Andy Ruiz Jr. with legal action over the Anthony Joshua rematch if the contract isn't agreed on the British fighter's terms. So, let's get into it. Right. Eddie Hearn has warned Andy Ruiz Jr. to agree to a rematch with Anthony Joshua in the UK or face a huge legal mess. The matchroom promoter says the contract for the second bout has a clause giving the ex-heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua the final say over venue. But the American Andy Ruiz Jr. claims he's calling the shots now. After taking the Brits 3 crowns last month, and will only fight him again in the USA or Mexico. Although Hearn insists it will end horrifically for Ruiz Jr. legally if he does not back down and accept the terms of the contract which he signed. Eddie Hearn says there would be a huge legal case that would probably stop him from fighting unless the outsider who beat Joshua in a 7th round technical knockout agrees to fight on this side of the pond. The venue dispute has already delayed the date being set for a rematch of one of the all-time great boxing upsets, says the article. And Eddie Hearn told IFL TV, Andy Ruiz is an honorable stand-up guy. He knows what he signed, and it wasn't unfair. But he has contractual agreements now to fulfill. Andy Ruiz was chosen from a group of people because we believed he would be the most competitive fight for Anthony Joshua. And we turned out to be right. And then, if he was to win that fight, as set out in the contract, there were a number of terms that he would have to adhere to. It's very standard. It's not, oh, that was out of order. He's the A-side now. No, this was what was agreed by both parties, negotiated and agreed. Hearn knows Ruiz would much rather fight in America following his incredible triumph at Madison Square Garden, New York, on June the 1st, but he stressed Joshua will be the one who ultimately decides where that fight takes place. Ruiz Jr. has so far stood firm, telling TMZ Sports recently, it's either Vegas or here at the Staples Center, Los Angeles. It doesn't matter what AJ says because I'm the champion. I'm calling the shots. We're the A-side now. Ruiz Jr. dethroned the WBA, IBF, WBO king Joshua after downing the fellow 29-year-old 4 times, ending Joshua's 22-fight unbeaten streak. Joshua is already back in the gym, desperate to avenge arguably one of the biggest sporting shocks of the decade thus far. Okay, so that was the article. And now let's chop it up. Okay, so Andy Ruiz Jr. reputedly made $5 million from the first fight. That's the contract he signed. And is scheduled to make $10 million, reputedly $10 million in the second fight. That is the contract he signed. And also in the contract which he signed, Joshua has the final say in terms of the venue. That is the contract Andy Ruiz Jr. signed. He knew it. He read the small print. It wouldn't have been the small print. It would have been the big print. That was the terms of the contract that both parties would have negotiated, agreed, and signed. You see, Andy Ruiz Jr. appears to be living under the misapprehension that because he's got the straps now, that he's the A-side. But unfortunately, the A side is determined by the contract which both parties signed. Andy Ruiz was given the opportunity, he took the opportunity, and credit to him. But now he has a legal and moral obligation to abide by the contract which he signed. That means that if AJ says the fight is in the UK, then the fight will be in the UK. If Anthony Joshua says the fight will be in Madison Square Gardens, then the fight will be in Madison Square Gardens. If Anthony Joshua says, hey, let's take this to Mexico, then Mexico, here we come. That's how contracts work, my friend. Andy Ruiz. You're acting a bit like a diva, my friend. You're acting a little bit like a diva. Yes, you won the belt. Congratulations. I don't know how you say that in Spanish. Congratulations. But now, it's time for the rematch. Stop mucking about. Honor the agreement which you signed, or else you will go to court. You will be frozen. The fight will be frozen in court. It will go to litigation, and the judge will say, Mr. Ruiz Jr., this is what you signed up for. Kindly honor the agreement. Matter of fact, the judge won't even say, I'll just order you to follow the agreement. You are contractually obligated and obliged to fight Anthony Joshua at a venue which he determines at the rate you agreed to fight for. It's very, very simple. Obviously, you've got people in your ear now. You got the PBC El Capitans, Al Heyman. You got your advisors probably giving you some bogus legal advice. But at the end of the day, the fight will take place at a venue signed off on by Anthony Joshua. So please stop mucking around. You want to see the fight? Don't mess around. Don't become a diva. Don't become a diva. Sign the paper. You've already signed the paper. Now sign for the rematch bout. Sign the bout agreement for the rematch. Let's stop messing around. Ain't got no time for this ish. You want to see the fight? You want to see who's the better man? Pure and simple. What say you? The people. Have your say. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon. It's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. Don't forget the live shows. Daily updates. This is how we do. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. It's Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. And I'm out.